Off the Top Rope Friday night, we get super sparkling, presented by sixpackcoverage.com. Of course, I'm your boy Ty Asbury, and this episode will be super sparkling because my live guest, she's all about the rainbow, nothing but the rainbow. She wants to bring that super light to every promotion she crossed in pro wrestling. Joining your boy Ty Asbury on the ropes, Laurel CassieD is live to talk to me about what she's up to next in wrestling. I also want to ask her about great Canadian wrestling, new school wrestling, and whatever else the Sparkling Rainbow wants to talk about. Laurel CassieD joins Off the Top Rope Friday night.
Tyrone Asbury. Yo. Yeah. I need y'all to listen to me right now as I take you on this journey. Podcast journey. But only the greats can make it to this level.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Ty Asbury live as Off the Top Rope, presented by sixpackcovers.com. And that new theme is hot, so I apologize. I was dancing. So my live guest tonight on the show, she is the Sparkling Rainbow. She's the one and only in wrestling. And if you try to tell her that you're a Sparkling Rainbow, she will kick your ass. Laurel.
Hi.
The house.
Yeah.
How you doing? Laura, what's up, girl? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Most importantly, it's an honor to have you on the show. And
Thank you.
I'm honored to be talking to the one and only in wrestling, Sparkling Rainbow. And first and foremost, we were talking about before we went, we were getting ready to do the show. The Sparkling Rainbow thing, I love it. It's one of a kind. You probably been asked this question 100 times. How did that come about, and how often do you get complimented on it? Because I love it.
So really it came about, I always wanted to be sparkling, colorful, different. And just one day I was at home, talking with my boyfriend about wrestling and stuff. And I was like, I just want to be like bright, like rainbow bright. And I'm like, oh my God, the Rainbow Bright Wrestler. Like, what am I doing? How did this take me so long? So that's how that came up. And a lot of people that I mentioned to, or like at work, I show my matches or what I look like wrestling. They really dig it. They really love it.
Yeah, it's something that I'm sure that you just said for the audience, it has grown and it keeps on growing and growing and growing. Now, when you were talking to your boyfriend about different names, I'm sure this happens with wrestlers a lot. Did you throw some names at him and he was like, nah, I don't know if that's going to work? And, sometimes come up with a name is got to be super hard. I mean, probably watching movies and reading the dictionary. So did you have any names that kind of didn't fly?
So I actually had a few names at first. When I first started, I think I went by Jubilee or something like that from from a video game. Another one was Skylar something. I forget. There's an L there. Skylar something, and it was partly from an anime I really liked at the time, and just I don't know, Skylar fit. So I'm like, let's try that. Eventually, someone gave me this name, and I kind of okay, well, I want to do something, so I'll keep it and I'll go with that. And it was Cassie Cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's like an alternate. If you ever want to, I don't think we can change the characters in wrestling, but you should. I would keep that. I like that.
Yeah. I liked it too, and I went by that for a good while, and that's my PlayStation name and everything. But I just kind of wanted to break away from it and just do something that is me, that I could that I'm not like, okay, well, um, I want to be in the wrestling business. I want to do something. So I guess I'll go with this name this person gave me. I want to do my own thing. So that's where Laurel CassieD came in. I want to keep um Cassie because my name's Cassandra. And Laurel is Black Canary's name. And I really like Black Canary. She's really badass. So yeah, and just the D, everyone, there's so many Cassidy's in the wrestling world. So I'm like, I need a bit of difference. So I just put the D at the end.
Well, I'm sure, like I said, you're all like sparkling, positive, happy. But I know when you get in that ring, it all changes because you're ready to just whoop some ass. And
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you
Oh
definitely.
yeah.
I could tell. Like, don't piss me off. So,
No, I'm a ball of fire. Piss me off.
but I really love the story of how your name came about, the creativity behind it, and it seems like it has definitely caught on since you started in wrestling. And I like how, like I said, you just like got the sunglasses, like the different color nails. I noticed that, and
Thank you.
I really think that if fans maybe see you outside the ring, they probably can relate to you. That people who are positive in life, they could probably relate to that. Like, are you so happy, in wrestling before the bell rings? But I'm sure fans have really gravitated toward what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm in the ring too. I want to keep it like I want to be like, yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass, be bad, but I also want to keep it nice, light, and hearted. I always loved comedy and wrestling, so I'd like to do that, and not many women do. So it's something different.
Now, that's a really cool thing you brought up is comedy in wrestling. I mean, I'm sure it could be overdone, underdone. Let's think about stakes now, but just right. Have you ever done like a comedy bit in wrestling where it like really it took off, where you went to the locker room, you're like, that really caught on? Did you feel in that moment, if you can go back and look at your wonderful career up to this point, where you've had a like comedy bit that you still laugh about?
Um, I would say the most recent one would be my match with Scumbag Yates at HPW. Me and him singles for the first time. I played patty cake with him.
I love that. I love
Thank
that.
you.
You're probably patty cake and just gave
Oh
him
yeah, patty cake, but just chopping away, just trying to hit as hard as I can.
I bet like when you did that, you could probably see from the corner of your eye, fans were like, "Oh shit!" Like you did.
Oh yeah, they're just like, "What? Yeah!" So I was like, "Oh, this is cool." I hope because I really hoped people would get behind that spot because I was like, "Oh, this fits my character," and no one does it.
Yeah. Do you think it's definitely a good thing in wrestling to, as far as adding more to your character, never stop thinking? Because there's so many ideas out there. Do you believe that for being a wrestler, like never stop thinking, because you never know what idea can hit you?
Oh yeah, never stop thinking, never stop learning kind of thing. Um I mean, characters, as you kind of get attached to them and you get to feel them out a bit more, they grow and evolve as well. Just like people.
Like people, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you, like, when we take you outside the ring and kicking ass and go from outside the ring to just living life? What has, probably to this point we're looking at, which is crazy, 2022.
I know.
What has wrestling taught you as person outside the ring, or can wrestling do that? Teach you things to help you with living like that everyday life when you're not competing?
It definitely can, especially like the behind the scenes, what really takes to even just do wrestling. Just to like be consistent, hardworking, um, and just like always trying to think outside the box and evolving.
Yeah, I've, I've,
Yeah.
al- I've always thought about that because I mean, I'm sure it's just with the 4-hour road trips and trying to find a late night place to eat after a show. It can
Yeah.
be grinding, but Speaking of which, have you ever had any like travel stories where you're like, man, I never want to go through that again. Like any crazy like travel.
Actually I do. I went on the winter tours with CWF. At the time I was just a referee, and so we went to like very remote places up north, and most of these places you have to cross a giant lake that's covered in ice, and you have to hope that ice is safe and nice and thick. So we were traveling on one of the roads, and snow was piled on high. You could tell no one's been down for a long time, and like right in the middle of the lake, we had to stop because the snow was so high. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is a little scary. I hope we're okay. And like we were in the ring car too, so it's like, oh great, like there's like this 100-pound ring or something, like
Yeah.
even more, and like what's gonna happen? And the promoter comes out and he's like, yeah, I think I heard a crack. And I'm like, okay, well, it's freezing out here. I don't know if I should go in the car or not, but I eventually did. And like we were there for a few hours just trying to shovel ourselves out. And eventually I think someone came by to push us. So it was pretty scary because like I can't take the cold. I don't know how I did the winter tours,
Yeah.
but like I was like yeah, it was ridiculous. I was like, I hope we don't run out of like gas.
You just said you can't stand the cold. If you ever want to come and compete here in the good old upstate New York area where my studios is based at, if you wake up here where I'm based at, you'll wake up to like 5 degrees in the morning. So Laurel was probably like F that. So you can have
Oh,
that. But that's really crazy how you're thinking, you want to be relaxed, go to your show, and you don't want another workout before a workout in the ring shoveling snow. So that was probably like, you kidding me? So
yeah, that was the most ridiculous, I would say, like thing that's happened in wrestling. There's been so many others, but that was like a little bit concerning for my life.
Yeah, I really think it's cool how it could be. I mean, wrestling, people transition different things. I mean, wrestler to announcer, so forth, referee to wrestler. How did that come about for you? And when it happened, like when did you know it was time for you to say, taking off the stripes and I'm getting into the ring?
So I always wanted to be like a wrestler. I always wanted to do wrestling ever since I started training. Um, so I had, I think, like my first or second match, and then I got scooted off to valeting a tag team just for a little while. And then my trainer thought, oh, it'd be a good idea for you to be a ref. You'll learn the ropes a little bit better that way. So I was a ref for a good, I'd say 2 years. But like I still just really wanted to wrestle. And I was kind of wrestling other places a tiny bit. And it kind of got to the point where I had to take a break.
Yeah.
And I did like 1 or 2 last shows, just like wrestling. And then I called it off. And coming back, now it's just like, okay, I'm a wrestler, just across the board. Like I don't mind if I'm in the faction or anything. That's pretty cool. But I did get a promotion that wanted to put on an all-women show. This is pretty recent, actually, right before the pandemic. And they messaged me and be like, hey, can you actually be a referee? Because we would like the whole show just to feature women. And I'm like, but no, that's not what we talked about, not what we discussed. I'm a wrestler, not a referee. Sorry, I could train someone to be a referee. Not the best referee, but yeah, no, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, that's like really cool how you knew. I mean, you knew you were ready. I mean, we're all different. We know we're ready for something, but I think I'm sure you learned it all fell into place for you because you can train people. You pretty much got like a double double going. You could train somebody to be a ref and a wrestler, so you got like a double sensation thing going on with that.
Yeah, a bit. I didn't really know too much of what I was doing when I was wrestling. I was reffing though, so yeah, I could start someone off.
Well, I definitely have to ask you one cool thing, and it's been building up for years, and you're a part of this, and you're doing your thing, and all the other ladies in the business are doing their thing about how women's wrestling has just boomed and gotten big. Like, how does it feel to be a part of that? Because that's something special, and you're a part of that too.
It does feel definitely special, especially now that we get to be showcased as actual wrestlers and just not like a side piece. Like we can do some cool stuff and some pretty good matches. I just think still in like here I'm in Ontario, Canada. We kind of got to work a little bit more on opening up the show. Maybe even other places too, opening up the show to more women's matches, not just have the one card up there, maybe have two, maybe the occasional third, or even intergender. I love intergender wrestling. And I think it should be featured more.
I really think I've actually talked to my wife about this because she's really big on it too, and she wants wrestling to push for intergender matches. Like even the thought of intergender tag titles.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been done much, but I think that's something that promotions should really consider. And I love seeing intergender matches because women are human, so are men. Just get in the ring and just settle it and just beat the crap out of each other. So I mean, but I'm sure like back then it was seen differently. Like you said, I mean, women was just like the side piece, stay in the corner and just do your thing. But
Oh yeah. Like when I started, that's where wrestling kind of was at the time, was you're just a side piece. It was still like the Divas era on like WWE.
yeah.
But now, yeah, I'm really happy where it's going.
Now, I'm sure, like I said, you got hundreds of fans over the world watching the show live. You're getting more fans by being on the show. When you leave the show, when you want to leave the show tonight, what do you want fans to get out of this episode tonight? What do you want them to learn about you for people who see you and like, oh, she's cool. Like, I want to follow the rainbow too.
Those are a lot of questions. I don't know. I don't know. I just want people to get like, I guess, out of me is like just to be yourself, be bold, get out there, do what you want.
Yeah.
I want them to have fun when they see me. That's why I love streaming as a VTuber, and I like doing comedy stuff because I want people to laugh.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I answered all the questions. I'm not too sure.
So off the top rope, speaking of which, before I go to that, tonight here on Off the Top Rope, everybody, of course, presented by sixpackcoverage.com. Now, if you want to follow the rainbow on your Friday night because Laurel CassieD is in the house. And I want to thank everybody for watching the show live tonight. And here on the ropes, the comment box is up there. You want to ask her a question, feel free to comment on this episode. Like I said, because this episode is sparkling. So definitely comment here on the show tonight. Now, you brought the biggest thing of all. You are based out in Canada. I want to get a passport and come to Canada because I know the wrestling scene out there is just jamming. Tell people down for American wrestling fans, what are we missing up in Canada when it comes to wrestling? Because Canada is the birthplace of wrestling. So
yeah. Oh, let's see. Well, you're missing like some solid wrestlers, some solid workers that are up here. I mean, you see Josh Alexander, he's from up here in Canada and solid worker. And there's so many people that look up to him. and they're trying to follow in his footsteps. We have we have Jody Threat. She comes down to the States a lot, but like her hometown's here, and she's pretty cool. She's pretty chill. Holden Albright, he's another great wrestler. Got Clay Wilson, heck of a heel, man, heck of a heel, and he knows how to work. We got who else? Rip Impact. You mean yeah, it's Rip Impact. And just some good like fashion old school, not old school per se, but like I feel like we like our chain wrestling and we like our hard hitting wrestling.
Yeah. Well, you forgot about, you named all the great wrestlers in Canada. You got to put yourself up there too. So you gotta, you know. So.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting there still.
And you also get, first time I think I've ever said on the show, you get all the top rope bonus points because you got the pink shirt on, Bret Hart family. So you know so you kind of rocking that.
I wasn't even thinking that. I'm like, ooh, it's a bright shirt. Let's wear that.
Now, I saw this clip. I want to air it right now during the broadcast because I believe a wrestling venue can tell a story a lot. I mean, I've seen shows, they're doing shows in bars now where the fans are like right there in the action, big stadiums, gyms, wherever. And this match was actually aired during the promo. And if you go back, this venue is like so closed in, it's just like badass. Like, it's like, I don't know if it's the garage, but it's like, that's like old school, like somebody's gonna get beat up, concrete everywhere. So can you tell everybody like what was the deal with this venue? Because I think it's badass.
So the deal with this venue is like it was COVID, right? Things were very limited here up in Canada. We couldn't have shows, we couldn't do your traditional wrestling. So we figured let's tape wrestling. So this is actually from where I train out of currently is HPW. It's called HPW Academy Wars. And this is actually where we train. This is
wow.
Yeah, it's literally, yeah, it's kind of like a garage.
Man, when I Laurel, when I saw this, I was like, man, they got to be straight black and blue, triple black when they come out of there. I was like, God damn. But it's cool and it's different. I mean, I know from talking to a lot of wrestlers in Canada, the pandemic, and my heart goes out to you guys for it really hit you guys hard in Canada. I'm glad. It seems like wrestling in Canada is starting to come back up again but it's just that venue. Like I'm like, I just like my body aches just like trained in that. So much respect to you for doing that. So
Thank you.
It's really cool that was different. Like kind of like that dark, gritty crime story. That's what I gathered the story you guys were showing. Like the good guy is the bad guy, and you guys beat each other up.
Yeah, I mean you could think that, but really it came down to it. That was the most available place that we could train without getting we can tape without getting in trouble.
But it also showed the creativity of the organization to pull that off, and respects go out to them for definitely for doing that. Now we take a turn and go to you wrestle for multiple promotions. We were talking before the show. You want to wrestle for more promotions, so I'm gonna pull up the handy dandy graphic, and you got a lot. You got a lot of promotion on here. You currently work for Hamilton Pro Wrestling, your Crossbody. Now, if you look at what's like the ultimate positive thing for working for Hamilton and Crossbody.
So for Hamilton, it's more because like it's my training school. So like my trainers there at Impact to like watch the show and be like, oh yeah, you did great, or like really give like instant feedback, as well as the crowd. It's not your typical wrestling crowd that we bring in there because it's a lot more of like family and friends. And it's able for me to bring a lot of my family of friends because I am based out of Hamilton, Ontario. So
Awesome.
it's really nice to have that. And with crossbody, I do the crossbody. Why am I forgetting it now? They're series shows, and that's more wrestling based when it comes to the crowd, and it's just more eyes, I feel, with crossbody for different promotions are on you.
Now we take a backflip or frog splash over to the promotions you want to wrestle for. I mean, we got the Junction City and Bari Wrestling, like those four. If you can narrow it down to like a simple thing for all four of these, why do you want to compete for them, and what would you bring to these promotions, rainbow style?
So I just want to expand each show. It seems like a great show to work on and brings in great talent, and most of them look like fun.
Yeah.
Like they have really fun storylines. They do different things, especially Junction City. And I'm really interested to go down that route.
Yeah, and it seems like definitely it's also in wrestling. I'm sure you're really building your resume, your networking, and you just want to get better. I mean, you are the greatest right now, but you want to get greater, greater, and greater. But
Yeah.
when you told me that you want to compete for those promotions, I'm just like, man, just go for it. I mean, because I really think it seems like to me with the pandemic not completely being over, but this year that it seemed like wrestling's starting to get back into the groove, of everything.
Yeah.
You
And I
know,
have reached out to almost each of those promotions. Actually, tomorrow I will be going up to Barrie just to help out. So I'm pretty psyched for that.
now when you take away you've dominated in the Canada scene in wrestling. Do you have your eye on coming to the States? Any and down in America, any promotions or other territories that you really would love to consider?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to come down to the States. It's a little bit terrifying because I don't want to get stopped at the border and then have like a 5-year can't cross the border for anything if they find out I get paid or what. So, but I mean, I'd love to come down. In terms of promotions, I haven't really looked yet because I'm trying to still expand in Canada. Although I would really like to be a part of Mission Pro Wrestling at some point.
Thunder
Um,
Roses, yeah,
y-
that's where it is. I mean, like that's where a lot of people told me that's the place to go. And if Mission Pro Wrestling gets the Sparkling Rainbow, you better watch out. So yeah,
yeah.
I would really love to see you get there, and you got to keep us all posted, social
Oh
media,
yeah.
all email when you definitely do that. So, and I'm looking forward to when you finally go to Mission Pro Wrestling because Thunder Rosa, we see what she's doing. You work with her. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a dream. That's the dream.
yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Now, you of course moving ahead. It could be somebody new or somebody you faced 30 times. As we head into the year of 2022, who's one wrestler that you would love to face that you haven't faced before, or somebody that you faced a couple of times that drive you crazy and you just want to like end the feud, like done?
And so for two people that like I would want to wrestle, I tell everyone this. For females, Jody Threat. I haven't had a match against her yet, and I really would love to. And for males would be Pretty Ricky. And I'm not sure if you've heard of him, and he's a pretty funny dude. He can wrestle too, and I think we would have just a fun match. For the what was the second question? Sorry, my
And
goldfish
I mean,
brain.
it probably can be, pretty much you answered it. I mean, somebody that you haven't faced before, so you didn't answer the question. So we're all good because you just put it down rainbow style that Jody Threat and Pretty Ricky, that you would love to face them in the ring. So
Yeah. I mean, I do have other people that I was like, this would be a great spot to do with them. And I would love to face them just to do that in front of a crowd. Um, one being Wade Allen. I actually trained with him and we actually had a training match, which I should have saved this spot for an actual show because I felt like I was hit by a train the next day. And it looked like I was hit by a train too.
you're probably like, oh, I'm the sparkling rainbow, but I'm feeling like my rainbow is like black and blue today. You're probably like, oh God. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's something wrong with the rainbow that day.
now, I just thought of this. We're doing this whole show tonight. Now, you being the sparkling rainbow, different colors, and we all know the whole rainbow thing. One thing that you should do possibly is that will probably people probably make them laugh. You make people laugh all the time with comedy. Is maybe bust your opponents in the head with a bag of Skittles because they're colorful. So I don't know why I thought of that. So
I'm gonna have to put that in my notebook for later. I definitely will. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's
I
awesome.
mean, I can hear the announcers like, oh, that's a bag of Skittles. You know how announcers get like, so.
Just goes
But
everywhere.
or have fans throw your bag in there and wallop them in the head. So, but I just thought that being a wrestling fan, I'm always
Thinking.
Yeah. So
It is
now,
funny because one of my moves I do call Taste the Rainbow. And I have a little rainbow on my back of my butt on my
yeah.
trunks.
Now, speaking of moves, I do this every show. I got to stump my guests, make them think. My segment is time for Damn Ty. That is good. Ready for the question?
I hope.
Now, speaking of moves, if you could create a new move, freshly new, just out there, using the word sparkling, what would you call the move, and what would the move be?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're really making me think. A move that's not been done before.
It could be. I'll let you. It could be something you already had, but you just put sparkling in. Come on, I'll let you know because that was a toughie. So
You know what? Actually, thinking about that, there is a move I do that not very many people do it the way I do. It's basically a Oklahoma roll
yeah.
through the ropes, through the second rope, and I'm on the outside going in. So I would say that, and I would call it something. Oh, I have glitter glide right now in my head for some reason.
That's fine. I mean that. I mean, it's like I said, that other guests would be like, "Damn, Ty." That's why I see why you call it that segment. Like they're like, "Damn, man." So, but that like I said, I'll
Thank
take
you.
that. So I'll definitely take that. Now,
It took three of us for that move to come to fruition.
as we get closer to wrapping up this awesome sparkling episode of Off the Top Rope, you actually told me before we went on air about how you've gotten into streaming. You know a lot of things on the streaming end, and if fans want to know more about it and you want to bring them in to promote what you're doing, can you tell fans about the streaming that you're doing?
So I stream. It's a little bit of random right now because I'm still trying to figure out when's a good day. But I stream on Twitch. My handle is hi_I'm Laurel, and I am actually a VTuber. So as you see me now, like you wouldn't see me like this. You would see me in a character form of myself, and basically, it there's motion capture involved in all this, and I just play I just play video games and just talk and freak out sometimes. So if you want to come join me, I'm doing one tonight at 8. Love to have you there.
Remember, she said 8 o'clock, be there. If not, you ain't getting no Skittles. So.
Yeah, that's right. No Skittles for you. Or you get the crappy Skittles.
Now, Laurel, outside of your streaming opportunities, your business, that's what you're doing. For your upcoming schedule, where can we see you whooping somebody's ass next with your wrestling schedule?
So, 2 of them that are coming up next, I know for sure, is I have a show March 18th with Crossbody, their showcase series, and March 18th, I believe it's at like 8 o'clock. So there's that one, and then March 19th, next day, I'll be at Revolution. It's an all-women's show, and I'm not too sure what the time is for that or who I'll be facing yet, but I'll be there kicking somebody's ass.
Kicking ass, taking names. Everybody wants to be the sparkling rainbow, but this lady, she's the only one. Ladies and gentlemen, my live guest tonight, the sparkling rainbow, Laurel CassieD, baby.
Hey.
And the last question, of course, for 1 to 10, would you ever come back on Off the Top Rope again?
Oh yeah, for sure.
10. I give it 10.
Yeah, 10. I'll give it 11. 11. Go a little bit past the rainbow.
I passed over to the rainbow for 11 for Off the Top Rope. Well, Laurel, I want to thank you very much. It's been a true honor to have you on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much. But most important, God bless. Be healthy, be safe, and
you too.
Go bust somebody in the head with a bag of Skittles.
Yes, I definitely will.
Ladies and gentlemen, my live guest tonight here on the show, Laurel CassieD, baby. Thank you for watching this live episode of Off the Top Rope. God bless. Have a great night. And we're going to end it out with this kick-ass new theme from Off the Top Rope. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah. Tyrone Asbury. Yo. Yeah. I need y'all to listen to me right now as I take you on this journey. Podcast journey.